It's Graham Healy, Senior Instructor for Yun International, and Healy's Integrated Self-Defense Academy. Now, just a quick word, I'm doing a series of DVDs, as you already know, so I'm actually layering and backing up, or probably adding extra tools to the toolbox, I call it, from the original Yun DVDs that were done in 1997. Now, those DVDs were like the framework or the background or the backbone, as Grandmaster Yun says, and I've had considerable experience in martial arts, boxing and Krav Maga, etc. So I've had 20 years of various experience, probably 40 now, I'm 65. And so I'm contributing and adding into the layers of options in the toolbox with Yun Jun-Do. So again, I always recommend that you purchase the videos as a background, and then you can determine, you know, the layers that you wish to choose from there. And on these series of videos, which I've done on my website, they basically are add-on toolboxes, or toolboxes to complete the technique. So you can take them if you wish, you can just leave it as the videos, the original CDs, and just go to that level if you wish. Totally up to you. It's just I'm adding in, or rather what I call integrating, you know, my contribution of being one of the original instructors, my contribution, infusing my contribution into what I'm teaching in classes, especially from 2021. A lot of exciting things happening in 2021. Myself and the Grandmaster are working on a global seminar about 12 months down the track. So in about mid-January 2022, we'll have the Yun Jun-Do Global Seminar. We've already got the venue booked. More of that news later. Now, today I'm continuing on last video, which was video 3A, 3C I think it was. This is video 4 in the series. And in this series, I'll continue on with the kicking combinations. I got to the various, where we left off last time was the various side kicks. So we went through front kick, a twist kick, a turning kick, and what have you. And then there's whole different versions of side kick. Have a look on video 3. And you know, I've got that listed on the website, so you can see there's side kicks off the back leg, side kicks off the front leg. There's left-right side kick, there's a flick and kick, there's side kick and back fist to the bridge of the nose, and there's the what I call the twister. So the twisting side kick to the knee, the strike to the knee. They're all very good techniques. The master himself is probably the best side kicker that the International Taekwondo Federation ever had before he resigned in, I think it was, when did he resign? 1987, that's right, I think he resigned in 1987. In these series I'll probably be doing some, there's some, I could almost write a book about the historical stuff, and I will mention that in some DVDs separate, like interview type stuff, where I'll give people who've been in martial arts a long time the actual background, and you know, the Grandmaster's history regarding International Taekwondo Federation is on his website, www.yunjundo.com. I've also got it on healyshealth.com, and also yunjundo-healy.com. So you can see his history, but there's details in that history that only I know from spending literally hours and hours and hours of talking to the Grandmaster on intricate details of what he did in the past and everything. As I say, I could write a book about it. I've actually had one-on-one time with him, which is very valuable to me. Now, in these videos, you will hear we're very close to a major railway line behind me. So when you hear the railway train moving through, don't jump up out of your seat. It's actually on the video. Nothing I can do about it. Can't move the train. So our little training hall here is, you know, close to the train track. So just don't worry about that. Okay, that's the introduction. I'll be continuing on the kicks, and as I evolve into the different videos, I can break some of them down. But what I've tried to do is give you the next, I'm working on the next generation. The next generation of Yun Jun-Do is all new students. They've actually got a great advantage because the system has been put together, and I've been part of that in the past, I'm part of it in the future, and I want to see the global proliferation of Yun Jun Do to where it should have been in the first place. But good things take time, folks. Okay, over and out. Thanks for listening. More video to come in a little second. Okay, Graham Healy back again. How are you, everyone? Now, the next kick I'm going to do is twisting half turning kick, and it's part of the skills and drills procedure in, I think it's blue belt pattern. And I just emphasise something. The most important thing in Yun Jun Do training isn't necessarily the patterns. I mean, a lot of schools emphasise patterns. Unfortunately, if you haven't got the skills and drills to match those patterns, the patterns are pretty useless. And also the other thing is, if the patterns are overcomplicated, now because I was originally a boxer, I was in the International Taekwondo Federation, I was with another Taekwondo organisation, I was a founding instructor with Yun Jun Do. I've seen all the different systems, and I know, for instance, with the ITF Taekwondo, I know exactly how all the patterns were formed. I know how General Choi did them, and you know, for those who are actually in the ITF, just as a side comment, the patterns were actually designed through calligraphy. So I understand how they were designed. So that's great for philosophy and all that sort of stuff. But as far as practical self-defense is concerned, a lot of the movements in the old, what I call the old systems, such as ITF Taekwondo and what have you, they're impractical in real self-defense. And I'll explain why. When I say that, I'm not having a go at anyone who's doing ITF Taekwondo. I've got many friends who are still doing the old system. That's up to them. I've been a pioneer in many stuff, including Krav Maga and what have you, and Yun Jun Do. So I'm the sort of character who, if I can't see it working in the real world because I'm a former boxer, I certainly won't be following someone who can't demonstrate to me or has no real life experience. Unfortunately, that's what you get in a lot of martial arts. They'll talk's good, I'm this, I'm that, but actually doing it, different ball game. Now, regarding, there's a subject I wanted to speak about, and I'll speak about that very quickly. There's not much discussion about it in a way. In some of the old ITF system, you see them using sine waves. You know, a sine wave is a sound wave. So I'm a little bit qualified to speak about that because I actually have done university level physics, I've done quantum physics. I'm also in my final stages of medical science, so I'm actually on the way to being a qualified radiographer and all that. So I understand sine waves. Now, I'll just make a statement here. This is not putting anyone down, but the human body in movement does not follow a sine wave. So you see a lot of the old systems, they'll be doing a pattern where when you see it side on, they're moving like this. They're moving in a sine wave. Now, I don't know if in my observation, that's only 65 years and 40 years in combat sports. I've never seen anyone, boxer, martial artist, or UFC guys, I've never seen anyone fighting with a sine wave. You ever see them moving like in a sine wave? Have a think about it yourself. Natural movement is the way to go. I'm a boxer. It's natural movement. You've got to move your hips. You've got to come in, boom, I'm not going to come moving up to you like I'm in a boat on the sea with sine waves going through. So, I look at that sometimes and I just think, crikey, there are some intelligent people doing that. Don't they understand that the human body doesn't move in a wave? Anyway, that's just part of the thing. I'll discuss that later on, but I just sort of mentioned the sine wave theory. And again, I challenge anyone to bring up some sort of theory that says human movement relates to sine waves. Anyway. Okay, so in this video, all I'm going to do, we're doing one of the skills and drills, and as I said to you before, with the patterns in Yun Jun Do, it's really the drills we're talking about. In my experience, boxing, it was all about the drills. I've run my own setup. It's called Healy's Self-Defense, Healy's Integrated Self-Defense Academy. I just do skills and drills. I teach people skills and drills all day. So it's not about doing patterns, although I can do the patterns. I can't remember the ITF ones, but I teach the Yun Jun Do patterns. But even the Grand Master said it's not about the patterns, right? Not about the patterns at all. It's about being able to do the individual techniques. It's about being able to do the chops properly. It's about being able to do the punches properly, right? And powerfully. You can do that 1,000 times, well, whack it into the pattern. Don't judge yourself on patterns. This is ridiculous. So, okay, that's, let's say, bust that myth straight up front. Forget about the patterns, focus on the skills and drills, and focus on what I call sudden attack, bear trap attack. That's what you've got to focus on. So, okay, first one is twist kick, half turning kick. So the twist kick goes to the inside of the leg, half turning quick kick, around the jaw. That's one of the drills. I'll move on with other drills on this particular series of videos, but we'll start off with that. So we just focus on coming off the front leg. You can imagine this going into the inside of the knee with the ball of the foot, and then I'll follow up with a half turning kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's that side. So I'm trying to give the student of Yun Jun Do an idea to break down these techniques apart from the base videos. The base video's got some techniques in it, but it doesn't have the full toolbox. As the Grandmaster said, it's up to the instructor such as me to add those toolboxes in based on your experience. And if you haven't got experience, basically listen to what the instructor says, because he's the one teaching you. Okay, other side, twist kick to the inside of the knee, half turning kick to the jaw. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, next one coming up. Hope you enjoyed that, plus a little discussion in the beginning. Okay folks, back again, Graham Healy, Senior Instructor for Yun Jun Do. It's 2020, around about Christmas time, and everyone else is eating stuff. I'm training, doing videos, right? That's what I'm like. Grandmaster's like that as well. So, 2021 is a big year, right? So I hope these videos will be an aid to your continued training. My attitude is we're here to train for a lifetime, not to be competitive, but we compete within ourselves. And in saying that, that's not a cop-out. I've been a competitive boxer, and I've fought professionals in the boxing ring, so, you know, those people watching the video say, oh, this bloke's only doing non-competitive, this and that. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. So I'm speaking from a lot of experience, and at the end of the day, I'm 65, we don't want to have a whole lot of injuries. We're doing our training for continued health and fitness and all the other benefits. Okay, now the next one is axe kick. Now I see axe kick in various Taekwondo organisations, and they try and axe kick them to the clavicle, and that's great too. Unfortunately, that move, if you've got no guard up and you're standing there and get an axe kick to the clavicle, yeah, you're open for it. But once you lift that leg up, you're actually very vulnerable to a takedown. You're also very vulnerable to a straight groin kick. You're very vulnerable with the guard up, the elbow out, bang. It's a very bad move, that, and it's not the correct way that an axe kick is used in the real world. The axe kick, I've used the axe kick in the real world, all right? In a very serious conflict, I had to pull the axe kick back before and I won't go into that. But the axe kick is actually used for an opponent if they drop down. You hit them, say with a turning kick or something like that, bang, they've dropped, and then you slice through. It's like the bottom end of a samurai sword. So you see in one of the other videos I'm doing the warm-ups with leg raising and what have you. What I did knee leg raising, front leg raising, rear leg raising, but what I didn't do was the angle and the circle. So this time I'm going to do the angle and the circle, and then I'll show you how a proper axe kick is to be executed. Now, this is how we do it, and I can describe exactly how we do it on a training partner in all controlled. Now, I'll be doing a series of DVDs, or not series, more series of these videos with one of my black belts, and so a lot of this stuff I'm just doing face to face. You will see it in application, and I'll tell you now, anything that I do on these videos, I've either done it myself in the real world, in real self-defense, or I'm quite confident to apply it anywhere, any place, any time to anyone. So I'm not teaching from a self-defense perspective. I'm not teaching any miscellaneous philosophical movements that have no relevance to self-defense. That's a waste of my time, it's a waste of your time, and you're being, it's building up false confidence if you think that you're learning something that can't be applied in the real world. So we just snap out of the real world and we get back to the, snap out of the dream world and get back into the real world. Now, as regarding all self-defense, don't care what style they're doing, the number one rule is preemptive attack or defense. In other words, if you're under pressure, you either do a runner, or when you do the defense, it's preemptive, bang, you finish them. Or you've got 1 or 2, 3 techniques to do that. Now, those who've got real experience understand that. If I've trained many bouncers, here's a train going past, I've trained many bouncers, prison wardens and police, and I'm telling you, a lot of these guys understand what I'm talking about because they've applied what I've taught them, and it's saved their lives in many situations. I can tell you stories about that, but this is not the time for us. Okay, so we'll just do a little warm-up with the leg raising, and so that you can actually see it in action, and the variations. I've done it on one tape, but I'll just go through it on this particular tape. So first of all, it's just a front leg raise. I won't do the rear, I won't do the knees. We'll just do the angles, and then we'll do the leg raise like this. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, just do 5, 4, 5. Okay, we'll go the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we'll go out to the right, 45 degrees to the right. This occasion we do put the hand down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Across this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, from here across this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now for the rotation of the hip, I don't always do this particular one, but we'll show you how it is. It helps you to do the crescent kicks and things like that. So we're going from in to out, from out to in. 1, in, out, in, 2 more, 1, in. Okay, other side, this way to that way. Stretches the whole hamstring, keeps the hips circled, and you stretch the quadriceps laborum in the lower back. 1, in, out, in, out, in, out. Okay. Right, now with the axe kick, it really, when you do the leg raise, stretch the hamstring right up, it just pulls down halfway. There's a couple of variations to it. There's a straight down axe, there's a side angle or the 30-degree axe. I'll do both. And I'll just do 3 of them. So these are in the red belt pattern here. See here, pull. 2. 1 more, 3. I'll do it side on so you can see the angle. Other leg. Pulling with the hamstring and flexing at the knee. Here you go. Okay, now we'll cut across at 30 with that particular move. Now the emphasis, the power band is about there. So I stretch it and then I start to pull back with the hamstring, focusing on the heel, and pull it in. All right, sort of very similar to a hooking kick, which we'll go through in this video shortly. Okay, other side, just the angled. You have a look at that on the side. This side. Okay, more kicks coming up. Okay, back again. Now, in the black tip / black belt pattern, not that we're focusing on patterns, we're focused on skills and drills. There is what I watch the master do this, and because he's short and thick set, his centre of gravity is low, it's easier, I'm making excuses, right? It's easier for him to do it at his centre of gravity than me. But that's okay, I can do this properly. But what it is, it's what I call turning back hook, 180 degrees side kick. So when I initially started this technique, because I'm known as a power striker, right? Everything I do is full on kicks. I'll do whatever it is. You have a look on the internet that I put there with jumping back kicks. I do 100 of them in the gym in the afternoon on the punching bags. So I'm a believer of sharpening the sword continuously, and forget about all this stuff in the air. Forget about all the dreamy little pattern stuff. That won't hack it when some 120 kilo dude with tattoos all over him is about to take you out. You better be doing a little bit more than flippy floppy stuff, right? Okay, so in all my techniques, there's always a power band to them, and my students know that. But when I'm training or teaching them, I do it all just technique only, because what's the point? You're here to learn. It doesn't take much to hurt people in self-defense, but if you need it, it's there. And again, just let me reinforce, our system is all about personal development. So I might talk about self-defense and all that a fair bit, because we are doing, it's a human art, but we are doing a martial art / human art. So you'll hear me talk about that because it's very relevant. And I've been teaching martial arts / now human art, as the master likes to call Do. I've been teaching self-defense and learning self-defense since I'm 65, since I was 12 years of age. So figure that out, that's like over 50 years. And 40 of those have been basically instructor in various levels. Okay, so this particular technique, the hook and kick, I'll go through it individually. The spinning hook, there's several different ways to use, like kicks, there's various kicks to do various things. But in this particular pattern, like the black belt pattern, it's turning back 180 degree hook, side kick. Now, both those techniques are they're not super powerful, but the hook is designed to get the person to step back, and the side kicks it's not a power side kick, it's basically a snap side kick. So in the old days, I had real trouble with this particular move because I'd put spinning hook kick power behind it, and I'd spin out on them, and I could never stay on the spot. So because everything I did was 100% power and everything. With this one, the hook isn't necessarily 100% power. Let's say 70, and I've named it to look and hook. I've got these names for all the different techniques, so I can remember it, look and hook. So I'll show you how to look and hook, and you might see me jump around a little bit because I can't help myself power stuff up. So that's me. My nickname in the old days was the Terminator, so you can imagine how that name came about. But anyway, so here we're looking, and I'm going to hook, and I'll explain the hook with more details later. So look, hook, side kick. All right, so it's a real bit of a balance act, this one. It's a bit of a deception trap. So I look, hook, here, side kick. Here we go again. For me, this is quite a challenge, right? Because that power band, and I'll do some of the power stuff afterwards. So I look, hook, I'm here, side kick. Do it on the other side. So I've got to focus, look, I look, hook, bounce a bit, side kick. That hook, I just can't hold it back. Here, look, hook, side kick. Look, hook, side kick. Right, now I'll do front hook, spinning hook. Spinning hook's like a spinning heel, but you're hooking the leg. Now these are some of my favourite techniques in the old days, and my favourite technique was spinning heel, spinning hook, front hook, and back kick, half turning kick. That was side kick as well, but the spin hooks, they're devastating. Okay, so spinning hook, it's a spinning heel kick with you're hooking the leg. So just watch what happens here. Hook, you see? I'll do that a little bit slowly. I'm not like the little lightweights you can just skip in the air. I've had students like that, little lightweights. They look like Bruce Lee until they've been sorted with me in certain areas. But so here, hook, 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 hook comes around. Now I'll just show you that in motion. Here, 1, do 5, 2, yeah, 3, here, 4, here. You get the idea? The other leg. Woo. Always get a bit spinny with spin and hook kicks, right? So here, you're aiming to hit around the ear level, or it could be kidneys. You can drop them low, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Not bad for a 65-year-old, right? Okay. Front hook kick. Now, front hook kick, you can practice that on the punching bag, but you've got to come out at 45, back, and hit the backside. So the best, some people can do it higher. I'll do it around about waist height, about level with the hip height. So when you do that, it's here, the leg comes out and you hook back. So it goes out, hook back to the backside or the glutes, here and hook back. Now we'll do 5, normal speed, and when I hook, I use punching bags. Bang! Hook on the punching bag. See, this doing stuff in the air all the time is great, but you must consolidate on shields and or, to show you here, these, if you can see that, these, I've got these AAA punching bags. They're about 100k worth of bags. You try a little bit of that once every couple of weeks and that'll sort you out. Okay, so this is front hooking kick, normal speed. 2, 3, 4, 5. Nasty kick if you get it in. And do the inside of the leg, the groin, up near the jaw, come down on them. Other side. 1, 2, 4. Front hook, look and hook with side kick, spinning hook. Great techniques. Coming up with some more kicks in the next video. Thanks for watching. Okay, now, in about the black tip to black belt level, I mean we go to grey belt, i.e. the grey belt. There's a whole lot of meaning behind that. The Grandmaster is very, very much, look, Grandmaster Yun's one of the last surviving original former Taekwondo masters. There's not many of them left. Most of them have passed away now, including General Choi. There's a little bit of an inside story. When he was 22 years with the ITF, they asked him, Park Chun-tae asked him to take over from General Choi's position, but he refused and resigned. So, you know, a lot of people think they know the full story, and I see a lot of so-called history written on websites everywhere. I'm here to tell you, most of you guys that have written those letters haven't had the long conversations with the real masters yourself. You've got second-hand information, and it's not good enough. So fortunately, I don't know why, but I've spent more time one-to-one conversations on historical stuff and just everything in general about the Grandmaster and what he's done in his past and who he's been associated with. I could write a book on it. And I know for a fact, when General Choi first started off, this is a bit of historical stuff for anyone watching this. Originally, when the original Taekwondo started, General Choi chose out of 500 black belts, he pulled them in. He was, you know, quite an influential force those days in the Korean army, just retired. And out of 500 Korean, you guys are watching this know how damn good the Koreans are, right? They invented Taekwondo / Yunjando / kicking arts. They invented it. And out of 500 black belts, Grandmaster Yun was selected and Choi Kwon Cho. They were the two. Choi Kwon Cho runs a big his own Choi Kwon Cho organisation in the US, and it was Choi Kwon Cho and Grandmaster Yun. They were the ones that General Choi sent to Hong Kong, Indonesia, Malaysia, and then eventually Grandmaster made it to Australia. Now, a lot of characters out there think there were certain other Koreans that came here first. Well, Grandmaster Yun was the first international Taekwondo master recognised by General Choi, the founder of Taekwondo in Australia. Certain other groups, of which we know who they are, every single one of them, I know who they are. Grandmaster Yun, being Korean, knows all of them personally. And I'll tell you this now, Grandmaster Yun, was the only International Taekwondo Federation qualified 8th Dan by General Choi, the founder of Taekwondo in Australia. That's written fact. It's on his website. I've got it on my websites, healyshealth.com and yunjundo-healy.com. That's the facts. So, you know, I'm old school as well. So my attitude is I'm sticking with the original real deal. I've had my dropouts with the Grandmaster. I did 20 years my own stuff. But that's beside the point, that the fact is, he's one of the originals. He's one of the living legends still alive. So he knows what he's doing. He's always been a martial arts instructor. He's had no other career. Some people have said to me, oh, well, these various other Koreans have got into real estate and they've got into, Korean restaurants and that. Yeah, good luck to them. The Grandmaster's only done martial arts all his life. That's all he knows. And he's been very successful at it. So, in future, the Yunjundo instructor will have what I believe is a license, and we'll be working on that line to be able to duplicate the business model that was so successful for the Grandmaster. I used that in my career. I'm going to reuse it now in 2021 and be the test case again for it. But I'm one of those guys, I'm a pioneering dude, I always have been, a bit of a crusader. I'm not happy with the status quo, never have been. So when I fire up, things are going to happen next year, so I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of people that view these videos in person. Now, I lost my train of thought there, but I thought that had to be said. Okay, now crescent kick, side kick is in the black belt pattern, which is Jashin, you know. look on the websites and you'll see all the meanings of the patterns and that. So initially, I'm just going to do 3 techniques on this one. I'm going to do the crescent, show you the crescent and vertical kick. The crescent kick, there's several ways to do the crescent kick. We'll do 2 ways, the major ways. So one is a crescent kick where the foot comes down. So that's where you're slapping a hand down. So say, for instance, your hand is in front of you and boom, you slap it down. It's like using a physical slap. But in the drill we use in the pattern is it's a crescent, then we follow with the side kick. But to do that, you've got to learn how to bounce the foot off the ground to do it. It's a snap side kick. It's not a piercing side kick because you've got to shorten it all up a bit. So I'll show that to you slowly, and we'll do 3 to 5 so you can practice this at home. And again, feedback with the videos that I'm doing. I hope they're helpful, and I hope you can use them on top of the Yunjundo videos or CDs. So okay, remember, say they've got their guard up and I snap that guard down. I bounce this foot